What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Gran Turismo 3, and today we're continuing on our prize car only challenge run. And yeah, today we're going to be picking up where we left off last time out. It's been actually a good bit of time since I last filmed. Last time out, we got the Daihatsu from the, I think, what was it, the Turbo Cup? And we got a S13 Sylvia K's. Now, here's some unfortunate news. This video will not be done on the wheel. I actually suffered an ankle injury. Out of all things, hosting an engagement party with my me and my fiance's respective wedding parties, and while packing up to move because someone actually came and took over the pavilion we paid $85 for the day for, I tripped and fell, rolled my ankle, and sprained it. So my ankle is not doing too hot, which, as you can imagine, on a wheel complicates things. It's my left ankle, and I know technically I could probably do it, but it is a little discomforting to, not have my foot propped up. So I've got my foot propped up, and I'm playing on controller for now until that heals up. Whether that needs to be put in some sort of cast or boot, I have yet to know, because I haven't gone to the doctor yet, because I don't like going to doctors. So, yeah, and it's not like some weird anti-vax thing. I just have a fear of the doctor. Pretty normal thing. But anyway, this car disappointed me last time out, as you guys know. The Sylvia was really just underwhelming, to say the least. I had to lose the yellow Miata, the one that had the random decal. So, yeah, let's see where we can go from here, because there's honestly a lot of stuff we can do. I just don't know the best, target. So we can continue on in the beginner league. We still have the Clubman Cup, the four-wheel drive challenge, the FF Cup, the MR challenge, the K Cup, which I believe we can use the Daihatsu we just won for, Stars and Stripes. Do we need an American car for this? We do, and that is something we don't have at this time. So the Camaro race car is capable here, and then we can get that at some point. Yeah, we've done Spider Roadster. We need to do 80 still. We've done majority of the cups we can do here. The goal is to do all of the championships, get both ending movies. But I'm not entirely sure I'm going to do that, because we don't have access to a Beetle, and we won't get access to an Evo really easily. And I don't think you really get any of the Type R prize cards. I haven't looked at the thing in a while. Obviously, I know what prize card we could get for this. And then this is one I really don't know, any of these three, even though I think you can get a TT as a prize car in the Amateur League. The main goal is to finish all the cups in both the beginner and Amateur League, because that's the ways to get both ending movies. These leagues don't matter. It's just these two that actually will count as beating the game, so to speak. So we may be able to bump into Amateur League and do some stuff here. We'll need, obviously, to get the A license. And this is stuff we can do. I just don't think I have a car that's powerful enough for any of these events, because, well, we're still kind of in the early game. 27 days, in-game days, in here. So we may stick to doing the Clubman Cup today. And we'll go from there. This car should have the power to win at the Clubman Cup, so we'll just see how this goes. I may need to actually rebind the controls on the controller, just because I haven't used this controller at all in this playthrough. And when I created this series, it was using a blank file, so. Alright, we're good. So yeah, we should have this in the bag pretty easily. I mean, look at the competitors. My thumbstick is not working. Odd. Alright. Please hold. Alright, we are back. And, yeah, that was a really weird issue. I don't know what was wrong. I reset the game and tried again, and it was fine. I went in a machine test for, ever, trying to figure out what in the world was going on. And, yeah, I finally restarted the entirety of PCSX2, booted it up, worked fine, set my bindings back, no issues. So that was a weird thing. I even tried unplugging and reconnecting the controller. That didn't do anything. So I don't know what's up with that. I do use the nightly release of PCSX2, so that might be it. It just might be a weird glitch that's going on with the current build that'll probably be patched in 10 minutes anyway. because it's like every time I restart PCSX2, I have an update. So this should be pretty much a walk in the park. I feel like this car is pretty overbuilt for the Clubman Cup. After this, I don't really know what else to do. We might have to go into some of the amateur league events to, you know, make some money that way. Because we are running out of events we can do here. And that will prove to be a bit of a dilemma as we move into this playthrough. Like I said, the main goal is to do all of the events. So I do want to find an alternative method in getting a Beetle, because I believe if you do the Beetle Cup, that's how you get the RSI. But there's not really a way to do that at the moment. So I may look into what cups offer the Beetle. I'm going to try to save scum as little as possible, but there may be a few events where I have to, just for necessity of completing the game, and that will definitely be one of them. But aside from that, we're going at it with whatever the game gives us. So stuff like if we can find whatever cup gives the Altezza, whatever cup gives the Beetle Cup car, because I know you can get that one outside of you know, endurance races and stuff. Because I think that's a championship prize car. I think both the Altezza and the Beetle both are, so that might be where we go for those. So that way we can do the Altezza Cup and the Beetle Cup with those two cars. The Vitz race, obviously, we're going for the Pink Boy. And be able to do that event with that car, which I know will just give us another Vitz. But like I said, the point of this is to complete the game with prize cars only. So in my mind, that's getting Buffini movies, like I said earlier, and so that means getting all the useless cars we would otherwise not get in the playthrough. So this car is a lot better suited for this. And by a lot better suited, I mean it's just utterly dominating this event. So yeah. But I will say its performance in the Turbo Cup was less than desirable. I felt like I was driving the new Alpine F1 car versus the entirety of the rest of the grid with that. It was way too much effort for me to win those races. I don't think I've had it very often in my entirety of my life playing GT3 where it took me so many attempts to win a race in something that wasn't completely stupidly underpowered. You know, this car had the gas for it. It just, for some reason, it was not capable of that win, no matter how hard I drove. So, but hey, it is what it is, and that is a race win for the Silvia. All right, nice 1,000 credits in the bank. That'll help out a lot with our incoming prize cards. Maybe this will give out something that we can replace the Silvia with pretty quickly. Obviously, once I get an Evo, it's over. If you guys watch GT2 Plus, y'all know how much I love the Evos, and that's kind of my go-to car. So if I wind up with an Evo at any point during the playthrough, it's over for everybody. All right, next race, Special Stage Route 5, another 2-lapper. I think we moved to 3 laps or something like that once we get up to either 3 or 5. I can't remember. In the Amateur Cup. Get around this PT Cruiser here. See if we make some moves here. Alright, not too shabby. One thing I will say is I'm really excited to try out Gran Turismo 3 Concept. It's a project that a YouTuber by the name of Bazooka is working on, and I've been following it for probably about a month or so now. However long since before I started this, I don't even remember. I know it's been a while. But that is probably one of the most enticing projects I've ever seen when it comes to mods. And I love ROM hacks and stuff, especially when it comes to Pokemon. I love Pokemon ROM hacks. Some of them are really cool. I've developed 2, neither of which have hit public release yet. But, you know, I have a lot of fun with those kind of games. And to see you know, all the mod projects for Gran Turismo 4. What is this? Gran Turismo 4 Spec 2, stuff like that. I'm really excited to see more stuff with Gran Turismo 3 because, as you guys know, that's kind of where my love for Gran Turismo began, and you know, obviously we're playing it right now for that very reason. And Pokemon Leaf Green under the same circumstances. It's just, you know, the games that I played the most back in the day because they were my firsts. One thing I have noticed though is just nothing has touched the viewership and admiration the GT2 Plus series got, and I don't necessarily know like what circumstances made that playthrough as big as it was. I mean, this channel would not have the subscriber count it has. I probably would still be barely over 100 subscribers if that playthrough never happened. So I honestly like don't know what made that playthrough so popular. But hey, at the same time, I'm thankful for it because a lot of you guys probably would have never heard of me otherwise. So you know, I have a lot to owe to that game, which is ironic considering I prefer almost every GT after it. Not to say GT2 is bad by any means, I absolutely love GT2. Maybe at some point I'll do a video ranking the Gran Turismo games in my experience. I'm sure some of it will catch some flack, but you know, I have a lot of, now that I've actually played all of them in some aspect, you know, I've spent a decent bit of time on the original. I've played, you know, I finished GT2. I've played through Gran Turismo 3 countless times. I just recently finished Gran Turismo 4 for like the 4th time. You know, I've played through Gran Turismo 5 and 5 Prologue and all of that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's always, might be a good time coming up soon to revisit the idea of doing like a, you know, a ranked video with all of the GT games. So, expect that maybe to come soon. And there we go, another race win for the Sylvia. Huh, imagine, you put it against slower cars and it absolutely crushes everybody. And by a pretty substantial margin too. So, I mean, I kind of figured that'd be the case with this one. I figured if there was going to be a cup, if the S13 would be right at home, and it would be this one. So, I'm not entirely surprised, honestly. Alright, Deep Forest to close this one out. Not a bad choice for the final circuit here. Honestly, the early game had some pretty good tracks to choose from on all the races. I will say the abundance of Deep Forest and Apricot Hill and stuff kind of sucks when you're playing through the early game. Of course, everyone knows I'm a Special Stage Route 11 fan, and I have been begging for that track to come back in some regard. I would, you know, pay Polyphony a lot of money to see that track come back. Maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll get it in GT7. Speaking of GT7, I hope you guys enjoyed some of the VR content. I don't know how long in the game this video is going up from when the first little bit of GT7 VR stuff started going up on the channel. I got the PSVR 2, which I've been wanting one for a long time. But I finally got one for multiple reasons. The main reason I waited this long was because I didn't want to spend the $400 and something that I spent on it for just Gran Turismo 7. I wanted to have it for multiple games, and I'm a pretty diehard PC guy. I really only have the PS5 for a select few games. I have like Lego Speed Champions, and Gran Turismo 7 obviously is kind of my headliner, and a couple other like smaller games. I've got like Grid Legends and stuff on that. When something comes up that entices me on the PS like Plus stuff, it's usually with games that go on there. I don't really have a ton of games for my PS5, honestly, because I play predominantly on PC. But they're getting ready to release a PC adapter that'll allow the PSVR 2 to function with PC, and I was like, perfect, because then I can play every game that I like in VR. Because I play a lot, as you guys probably can figure out, the majority of my gaming life is devoted to Gran Turismo and Pokemon, or any other racing game of its type, you know, Need for Speed, Forza, iRacing, stuff like that. And all of those games, for the most part, I think Need for Speed doesn't, but almost all like the main stuff, like I think Forza, I know F1 has it, like has had it for a few years now. iRacing and Le Mans Ultimate as well. I think Le Mans Ultimate does. It may not at the time I'm filming this, but I know it was something they talked about. and R Factor 2 all have VR support. So it's kind of important to me to have that, you know, option now that I have the headset. But that was the reason I waited. I was just, you know, I didn't want to spend the money for one thing, and there was, at the time, there wasn't any chatter of it being a PC compatible headset anytime soon. And so now that it is fixing to be compatible, we still have a little bit of time before it is. I think the headset, the PC adapter comes out on August 8th. So I don't know when this video will go up. It might be up before then. I'd imagine it will be, considering this is episode 5 of this. It's not like the Pokemon Let's Play where I just filmed a bunch of videos in quick succession. Because one thing I will say that's different with this versus Pokemon is in a 25-minute span, and especially in the Gen 3 Pokemon games like what I've been playing through, you can blast through the game in that time. We made so much progress on that game, you know, so quickly. And in Gran Turismo 3, you can't really do that. I mean, we've been filming for 16 minutes now, and I've just finished 1 cup in the beginner league. So, you know, imagine once we get later in the game, some of these might be either longer videos or multiple episodes in that regard. All right, prize car time. What do we got? It's a Miata for sure. I think it's an NA. Look at that, another one. 3 Miatas in the early game as prize cars. Why do we need 3 Miatas this early in the game? Like, I don't understand it. Like, there's already 8 billion variants of the thing in Gran Turismo history. Why do we need to get one off the rip? But now we also have 2 cars for 80 Sports Car Cup. What do we use for Oh, yeah, my NB, the first Miata we got. So, that leaves the FF. We got MR. We got four-wheel drive. Let's see. I mean, really, the only ones we can still handle are 80s, the K Cup, and then the front-wheel drive challenge. I don't think we have anything for MR or four-wheel drive at this time. Obviously, some of these I'm probably... I don't know what I can really use right now. So, yeah, I definitely don't have anything for the four-wheel drive. None of these cars are anything other than front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive with the front engine layout. So, I will say I like this green, this sparkle green metallic that's on this Miata. You can actually see the sparkle a little bit in this, which is kind of impressive. I don't really remember seeing that a lot in these older Gran Turismo games, especially when I was a kid playing on, you know, older TV sets. Let's see, what am I thinking? So the front engine front-wheel drive cup. What have I modified any of these cars to some degree? So the Del Sol is 174 horsepower here, which makes me think I've tinkered with it a little bit. Have I? I think I did, because I didn't like shove a ton of horsepower down its throat. I thought I bought wheels for this car. I guess not. So we can do the FF challenge. I think this is the only FF car I have, right? Other than the Daihatsu, which obviously I'm not gonna rock. So I'm gonna leave it at make. So we'll go ahead. Let's do some tinkering with this before we go and tackle the front engine front-wheel drive cup. I swear I thought I'd messed with this car more than I did. I guess I really haven't. So obviously we're gonna do the similar stuff we've done in the past, sports tires. We'll throw... Let's see, is there a better use of the money? So yeah, we can do the racing chip, and that gets us a little bit of power. And then we'll do the exhaust after that, right at 200 horsepower. That doesn't really leave a whole lot of money. Is there anything we can do with that money? I don't think we can turbo this car. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I don't have enough for really anything else. We'll go ahead and cop some wheels for it. Just because I want the salad shooters gone. Let's go with Oz. Just because my friend Cason's getting ready to put Oz on his Mark 6 GTI. And gonna throw him a bone here. Let's go with... I'm not really finding anything I'm keen on. These remind me more rally car, especially these two. I think we'll go with these. I kind of like this look. Not really sure on white wheels with this car, but honestly, who cares? Alright. Let's go get ourselves... I know what the prize car for this one is, and I was about to say it, but let's have some fun first. And we'll make the joke later. So, this should be fun. Alright. This is where the real fun is. That Lupo is going to be a pain in the butt. What is that noise? That is an assault on my ears. I know I judge GT4 a lot for engine noise. I am sorry. That is offensive to my ears. That is awful. Man, come on. I put sports tires in this. This should fire out of corners a lot easier than that. Man, it is slow too. Goodness. I thought getting into 200 horsepower would be hugely beneficial. This thing would be kind of a lightweight on its feet a little bit. But the fact that I'm struggling to fight that Peugeot, I don't know. Actually, may not be too bad. It just took a little bit of begging. Now I gotta fight this Lupo, which I hate doing because as a Volkswagen owner and enthusiast, having to fight one of my own is unfortunate. Come on, little Del Sol. You may sound terrible, but we can make it matter here. Come on the straight, in the lead. This is by far one of the worst sounding cars I've ever experienced in GT. And I know the Demio racing modification in GT2 is legendary, or GT1. So the GT1 or GT2 is legendary for having a really wacky sound. But like, man, this is bad. I said I judge GT4 a lot for engine sounds, but my gosh, having driven a Del Sol in real life, I know this is definitely the furthest what they sound. This sounds like a vacuum cleaner. There we go. Lupo is still very, very behind us. Very much so behind us. Oh! Back end kind of came unglued a little bit there, as front-wheel drive cars like to do. Under braking. Obviously, all the weight transfers to the front. And that may have actually cost us a lot. That one little blunder there, because this car doesn't really have the horsepower to run away. I'm gonna try. Yeah, see, we're in trouble. Like, it doesn't corner well. It's not very fast, and we have no money to correct that. Let's see. Come on, come back, kid. Come on. Okay, it's definitely got some top end, I guess. We'll say I'm kind of disappointed in the handling on this. I figured with the sports tires, you know, it would be pretty pointy, and it's not that at all. Granted, it is on completely stock suspension, so I imagine some the sport kit or whatever that first stage of suspension is called, clean it right up. Not the cleanest win, but a win nonetheless for our Del Sol. Not too bad. All right. Oh, my neck. Did y'all hear? I hope y'all heard that. Last time I popped my neck on video, it picked it up. That one hurt. Of course, that was during the GT concept video. I think eventually I'm going to do a GT5 prologue video and kind of add on to that. Gosh, that sounds so bad. They really couldn't have made that sound worse, could they? And we are underway at Special Stage Route 5. You know, honestly, I've debated getting a Beetle like this one, like these early 2000 Beetles, and building either an RSI Tribute or just a VR6 swap bug in general. I've always just kind of had a soft spot for them. I know they are the most unmanly versions of the Beetle possible, but the RSI specifically has a bit of a soft spot for me. So building my own clone of it, and I've already found there's a very similar Duraflex body kit, specifically for the rear and the sides, and there's a spoiler. And I know Duraflex, if you're into cars, like, modifying them is not a well-known for quality company. They're well-known for being pretty inexpensive, and they have a very large variety of kits, but they don't really fit well. And that's the dilemma I'm having, is that the only kit I can find for the RSI to get it that full, or the Beetle, I should say, to give it an RSI-like look, because the replica kits for the wide body and everything no longer exist, because those Beetles are 24 years old at the oldest now, if not slightly older. You know, only options Duraflex. Those old kits have been discontinued, and you know, thankfully there are, like I said, some really convincing kits, and I think that that might be the route I would go. Only thing is, since all RSIs are silver, I'd have to drive a boring silver bug around, and not to say that you know the silver is ugly on the Beetle RSI, because it's iconic and it's actually, I don't know, it almost suits it. But at the same time, silver is kind of a boring color for a car, and I know that people who follow my other channel and be like, dude, you drive a black car, like one of the most basic colors for a car. But yeah, silver just isn't my top choice of color, and neither is it one of my friends. A lot of you guys might remember Hayden back from some of the older content on this channel. His S2000 was silver, and he thought silver was boring, so he went and wrapped it white. So I mean, you know, silver is kind of just a boring color. Some cars pull off silver very well. Like I would say, I think honestly in my head, I don't even know if they offer it in silver, but I think a G80 M3 in silver would look really good. Like the new M3 would look really good in silver. And obviously, like I said, the RSI, as boring of a color as silver is, it pulls it off phenomenally. So, you know, we'll see. Maybe we'll do like a Nardo RSI clone. Maybe I'll do that one day on the other channel, because that is honestly like a front runner. I just don't want to do a swap. That's my dilemma, is engine swaps scare me. And luckily VR6 swaps have been done so many times in the Volkswagen community, and the new Beetle specifically, and I've seen a handful of these cars with VR swaps. I went to a Volkswagen event just a few months ago, back in April, and one of the cars that was there was a 3.2, was a full R32 drivetrain and a Beetle convertible with a twin turbo setup. At least I believe it was a twin turbo setup. It had the intake pipes for the HPA turbos, and it looked rowdy. And the little bit I did see it drive, it was kind of fast. So you know, I think honestly I would do a single turbo VR though. But for me, I wouldn't want to do the swap without the all-wheel drive to go apart, because doing a turbo VR front-wheel drive, having already had you know a fairly fast front-wheel drive car, like my GTI's got an upgraded turbo and it's fairly quick, scares me a little bit sometimes. I'd imagine it's probably even worse with a VR under the hood because of the extra torque that the 6-cylinder has. Anyway, another win for the this is the Del Sol. About called it the Silvia. That was a lot more painless. I guess because I didn't make as many dumb errors as we did at Deep Forest. So one more race and we'll wrap this up. I'm already beyond the time frame I like to end these videos at. Honestly, the last cup is probably a good stopping point, but you know, I don't want to have super short videos either. So, you know, why not give you guys a little bit more to watch? And luckily, we'll probably be rid of this Del Sol after this, honestly, because it's an okay car, but I can't stand listening to this. I could not play through the entirety of this game listening to this atrocious noise. We are underway though, Rome, one of my favorite tracks in GT3, and I hate that this layout was never seen again. They used it for GT2 and GT3, and I believe GT1 as well if this track was in GT1. And then it was changed. I don't think it was in GT4 at all. I may be wrong on that. But in GT5 it got completely redone, and I think that translated over to GT6 as well, and then it was never seen again after that. It hasn't returned since. If they brought back the Rome circuit, I would love to see it with this layout, the original Rome layout. I know it is very basic in design, but honestly, I love it. It's probably one of my favorite layouts so far. Now Lupo's threatening a little bit. We're going to try to see if we can shake him off coming into these corners here. Taking that pretty aggressive line. It kind of works. We kind of yanked him a little bit. He used to absolutely kill me in these corners, so he definitely has the cornering advantage over this car. But, you know, it's just got tires. There's no suspension work on this. That's a full-on race car. A very slow race car, but a race car nonetheless. But I did notice we have a pretty good top-end advantage in terms of power on the straights. So we should be able to pull away a tiny bit from him here. Yeah, once we hit about 100, we just start yanking. So the VTEC kicking in on this thing. This very awful sounding vacuum cleaner. Alright, final corner here as we head on to the final lap. A lot of understeer, but we'll go ahead and downshift because this car definitely produces all of its power high in the RPMs. We're on to another fast section, so we should be able to gain a couple tenths back off of him here. Or approach that 100-mile-an-hour mark, which is where we start to pull away. And it looks like we're doing just that. Oh, good bit of understeer, but luckily we're able to save it. Alright. He's still kind of close, but we did gain quite a bit of time over him from that straightaway there. That really long straight going into turn 1 and up into turn 2. So we're going to see if we can maintain that advantage. Oh, definitely not. Man, that sucks. These little mistakes in these slower cars, you lose so much ground. Makes the races way tighter. And he kind of caught up on those corners. We're going to see if we can pull away again on the straight here. We don't really start yanking until over 100, so we aren't over 100 for very long. So, yeah, see, as soon as we hit like 101, we started to pull away. I don't know if he's got a really aggressive governor, which I don't know why you would have a governor set that low, or if the gearing on that Lupo really doesn't help him very much. But we're going to narrowly escape with the race win. And you all know what that means with this specific cup. If you're a long-time Gran Turismo player or just a Gran Turismo meme enthusiast. Because you know what's coming. You already know what's about to happen. You already know. I keep doing that. Only a few grand to spare on that. Honestly, whatevs. Because you all know what's happening. You know how this video is ending. It's pink. And this time, unlike on the Gran Turismo 5 video, it's the actual pink bits. Always good to see this car. And you already know we're using it. Like, I painted the other one pink, the RS Turbo I used in GT5, which will be coming back at some point. Don't worry. I know I've not been the best about stopping Let's Plays and then picking them back up. But I will pick that one up once our PCS3 gets some updates behind it. We are totally going to build that car for an episode in this series. Because it is the legend itself, the pink Vits. Literally, the paint code is pink. There's no other, it's not Super Pink 5 or whatever. It's pink. So we're definitely making use of this at some point in this playthrough. But anyway, guys, I think that wraps up everything we're going to cover in this video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Gran Turismo 3 playthrough stuff in the future. I think in the next video we're going to tackle the A license. I don't think I'm going to care too much to get all golds on it like I did the B license. Unless it's just got a really good prize car. I'll look into it and see what we got. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap things up here. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.